Okay, in today's class, we will discuss about non-binary independence model class. So, listen carefully because this concept is a little bit complicated. I will try my level best to keep it as simple as possible. So, what I have done is I have eliminated some difficult terminology and some difficult complex things from this what we topic, so that this topic is very simple to understand. So here in non-binary independence model, first of all, it's a probabilistic strategy where we use probability to measure the relevance between a query and the document. So our overall goal is to um, check whether the query we are asking and the document we are looking for are similar or not. So here we use two strategies. One is probability and the other one is the vector, a vector concept which we have already discussed. Okay, so let's see the first point here. That the non-binary independence model, it was developed by Yu, Meng and Park. Okay, in this model, what they are considering is they are considering the weights of the terms in the query with respect to the document and also the document length. Okay, so uh, I can put it in this way. In order to measure the weight of a term, they are considering the 2 points here. The 1.1 is the term frequency and the document length. Term frequency means the number of times that term has occurred or appeared in that document. So that is a term frequency. And the document length is nothing but the number of unique words in that document. So we consider that as the length of the document. Understood? So are you clear with the term frequency and the document length, two words? Term
Yes, sir.
frequency is nothing but the number of times the particular time has occurred in a document, and document length is nothing but the total number of unique words which are there in the document. So in order to measure the weight of a term, these people are considering these two things. One is term frequency and the document length. So we will see this in clearly in the coming slides. So you can see here, so they have incorporated term frequency and document length in order to calculate the term weights. So this is the first point. The second point is, once the term weights are computed, so once we have the term weights, the vector space model is used to compute the inner product for obtaining the final similarity coefficient. So here, in order to measure the similarity of the terms, we are using the vector space model. So using the vector space model, we can check how similar these terms are with respect to the document. So here we are using two things. First, in the first step, we are calculating the weight of the term, and in the second step, we are calculating the similarity using the vector space model technique. So this is the overall concept, two-step concept. So now let's see one by one. So here, one more point we will see here. Instead of estimating the probability that a given term will identify a relevant document, the probability that a term which appears TF times will appear in a relevant document is estimated. So in simple term weight model, if you remember, we have calculated the probability based on how relevant is the retrieved document with the query. So in this perspective, we have estimated, or we have calculated the probability. So we have taken a query, we have a document, and we have seen how relevant this document is with this query. But in this model, what we'll do is we will see how what we say, the probability that a term which appears TF times will appear in the relevant document. So we will check the probability of a particular term appearing in a document. So we are checking whether this term will appear in that document or not. So it's a reverse one. So we are checking that we are considering a word first, and we are checking whether that word is present in that document or not. So we are checking this probability. So we are coming in the reverse direction. So for this we have to first measure the term frequency, and we have to measure the document length in order to calculate the probability of a term appearing in a document. Okay, to incorporate document length, the weights are normalized based on the size of the document. So this is how we calculate the document length. And the probability that a term will result in a non-relevant document is also used. Here, you should remember one point here. Um, we are looking for a term in many documents, in not a single document, but rather we are looking for the appearance of a term in more than one document. So in that case, we will consider one document as relevant and other document as irrelevant. So you have to do this task. So suppose if we have 3 documents or 4 documents, if we are looking for a particular word in 4 documents, so you have to assume that 2 documents are relevant and 2 documents are irrelevant. So relevant means we are assuming that this word is will appear in this document. So that is the relevant case. In a non-relevant case, we are assuming that this word will not appear in these 2 documents. So we have to calculate both. We have to calculate the relevant part and the irrelevant part. Okay, so in order to get the value, we have to measure this one. So the last point is stating that the probability that a term will result in a non-relevant document. Um, so first we have chosen the non-relevant document, and we are measuring the probability that this term will appear in that non-relevant document is also measured. Okay, in order to get that final value. I hope you are getting this. And finally, the final weight is computed as the ratio of probability that a term will occur TF times in irrelevant documents to the probability that the term will occur TF times in non-relevant documents. Okay, let me put it in simpler way. So what we are doing is we are first dividing the documents into relevant documents and non-relevant documents. And we are in the next step, we are calculating the probability that this term will occur in the relevant documents. And also we are also calculating that probability that a particular term will occur in non-relevant documents also. Okay, we are measuring these two, and after we getting the two values or two weights or probability values, we are calculating the ratio between these two. This is the final step, and this ratio will give us a value or the weight of a particular term or particular query in with respect to the document. Okay, so this is the log formula which I have written here. Log probability of di, that means the probability of the term I appearing in relevant documents, and divided by probability of the term I appearing in non-relevant documents. So we will simply divide these two and we'll calculate the log value of these two, and we will get a value, and that is the value which we are looking for. Okay, and this will explain the the process here, where P di of R is the probability that a relevant document will contain D occurrences of the ith term. So This is not what I have explained here. And P of di by n is the probability that a non-relevant document has di occurrences of the ith term. Done. Now let's move. Okay, now let's consider an example and relate that example to that concept. If you clearly observe the, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, done. If you clearly observe this one, we have three documents here, D1, D2, D3, and a query, gold, silver, truck. So this is a query, and these are the documents. And what we will do is we will calculate the weights of individual terms, gold, silver, and truck with respect to the documents D1, D2, and D3. So this is our goal. Our goal is to calculate the weight of gold with respect to D1, weight of gold with respect to D2, weight of gold with respect to D3, so that we can calculate how relevant is this term gold is with D1 or D2 and D3. Similarly, that will be continued with this term silver also. We'll calculate the weight for silver with respect to D1, D2, D3. Similarly with the truck thing also. Now, in order to do that, we have to first tabulate them, or we have to first arrange these words, unique words, okay, in alphabetical order. That is what I have done here. So if you consider these three documents, if you filter this document, and if you collect only the unique terms, so these are the unique terms, 11 unique terms which are there in the three documents. A, arrive, damage, delivery, fire, gold, in, off, shipment, silver, truck. So in this case, even these articles and prepositions are also considered along with the other words. So these are the unique words which are there in the document. So first thing what we have to do is we have to arrange them in alphabetical order. So that is what you are seeing here. The words, unique words, are arranged in alphabetical order here. Now, based on the appearances of the terms, or the what we say query in a particular document, the table is created here. So T1 is term 1, which is A. T2 is term 2, which is arrived. T3 is damage. T4 is delivery. T5 is fire. T6 is gold, and so on. So each term here is given a label, okay, and we will check whether that label or that term is there, is existed in the document or not. So if you check the document D1, the term T1, that is A, is there. How many times we can see it? So A has appeared single time, so that's why we have written 1 here. So term A is A has appeared one time in document D1. So term 2, that is arrived. So can you see arrived here in the D1? No. So that's why I have kept 0. T3, that is damaged. So can you see damaged here? Yes. So how many times can you see damage here? Only one time. So I have given the value as 1 here. T4, that is delivery. Can you see delivery term here? No. So that's why I have kept 0. T5, which is fire. I can see fire here one time. So I have given the value 1. So T6 is gold. I can see gold here 1. So T7 is
No.
in. So 1 is given here. T8 is off. So I can see off here. T9 is shipment.
Payment. Indeed.
T9 is shipment, and I can write 1 here. And T10 is silver. I don't see silver here, so that's why I have written 0. And T11 is fire truck. There is no truck. So we will continue the same process in D2, D3 also, and we will give the values. And Q is the terms which we are trying to calculate the weight. So gold, silver, and the truck. So this is how we have to tabulate the occurrences. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to calculate the term frequency. So term frequency, how many times a particular term has occurred in a particular document. So how many times a particular word like gold has occurred in a particular document. So by seeing this, you can clearly know that the term A has occurred one time in document D1. The term truck has occurred one time in document D3. So we can clearly calculate the term frequency using this table. So we have now we will consider the we will calculate the probability value. We will consider that, convert that thing into probability value. Yes, Pawan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we have done is here we have converted that into probability. So 1 by 7 is nothing but the probability of the term A occurring in document D1, that is 1 by 7. So 7 is the total length of the document. The length of the document is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 is the number of times it will occur in that document. So similarly, we will calculate the probability of other terms also. You can see here. So you can see 2 by 8 here. So 2 by 8, let's see what is 2 by 8. Here. So T10 term silver. So silver has occurred 2 times in document 2. Let's see here. In document 2, silver has occurred 2 times. So that's why I have written 2, and the total number of the length of this document is 8. So that's why 2 by 8. So 1 by 4. So now we have the term frequency and the document length with us. So with these two, we can calculate the weight of the particular term. So this is the formula which we are looking for, the which we have mentioned in the previous slide, term frequency, or this is a formula to calculate the weight. So this is P of R by P of N. So what we are doing here, we are looking for the term gold in document D1. Term gold in document D1. So let's go back. So before that, I have missed one point. So here D2, D3 are we are assuming that D2, D3 are the relevant documents and D1 is irrelevant document or non-relevant document. So D2, D3 comes under one category and D1 comes into another category. All right. So listen carefully here. So first we will check the probability of this gold in relevant documents. Okay. So what are the relevant documents? The relevant documents are D2 and D3. And the probability of gold in these two documents is, I can see gold in one document and in other document there is no gold. So the probability is half, right? 1 by 2 or 0.5. The probability is 50-50% because the gold is appeared in only one document instead of two documents. So probability of relevant documents with respect to gold is half, 1 by 2, because the gold appears in one document. And here probability of the term gold appearing in non-relevant documents. So what is a non-relevant document here? This is D1 is the non-relevant documents, and the probability is 100%. You can see gold here, right? The probability is 100. So that's why we have written 1 here. So 1 by 2 by 1. So 1 by 2 by 1 is nothing but 0.5. If you calculate, simplify it, 0.5. And the log value of 0.5 is minus 0.3010. So this is the weight of the term gold with respect to the document D1. Okay, first we will check the probability of a term occurring in the relevant documents by the probability of occurring a term in non-relevant documents, and we'll measure the log value of that one and we will get the weight. This is the weight which we are looking for. Similarly, we will continue with the term silver in the document D1. Silver in the document D1. So if we check the relevant documents, that is D2 and D3,